All right. What's up? What's up? I'll fix some stuff here. All right. See if we can get some. I don't know if I can play music on this one. What's up, guys? Welcome to Thee Bullco's Friday Night Live. I'm your host, Marcus Jose, where we talk nothing but dogs, nothing but American bullies, maybe some training and possibly some jokes, but we'll try to keep it on topic for you guys tonight. Now, I want to let everybody know that I'm not drinking alcohol here. This is Red Bull. Bully Hot, what's up? What's up? What's good, man? Stephen Holloway, what's good, my dude? How you doing? Double A, what's good? How's everybody doing tonight? So we got a lot of updates, a lot of stuff to talk to you guys about tonight. Breeding, showing, possibilities of new puppies. Yeah, I finally fixed it. I don't know what was wrong. I think it was because I had pressed a button before I put it on there. I don't know. But anyway, we're on Instagram, we're on YouTube here right now. We're streaming on both. Until I can find a way to merge the two streams, we're gonna do it on both for sure. Hello, Laura. What's going on? What's up? What's up, Abel? What's up, brother? Okay, guys. So let's do some updating. Everybody knows Saturday or last Sunday, I was on my way to LA or Paris, California. It's Southern California. So I get about an hour and a half away from the house. What's up, Dallas Elite Bullies? What's good, man? Get an hour and a half away, car breaks down. And thank God it didn't break down at 2 hours away, right? Car broke down, fucking, long story short, had to get it towed back to the house, $200 there. And it was a whole shit show, okay? What's up, Ray? Thanks a lot, man. But I wanted to talk to you guys on why or how the breeding still went off. What's up, TaylorMade? How still went off without a hitch, okay? So I know on Friday, Tom Ford stud fee is $2,500. What's up, Terrence? Okay. So last Friday, Vita was at a 3.2. Okay. I know my dogs very well. I pay very close attention to the dogs. So I knew that 3.2 on Friday at 5 days in means that she's going to peak or she's going to start to ovulate or start to be ready about Sunday or about Monday. So we decided to forego the progesterone test Sunday because that's when we had another one scheduled and do the progesterone test on Monday in Southern California, which would give us some time. Basically, classes in session, yeah. Basically gave me some time to get down there, get it done, and then start doing the breeding. Now, for those of you who don't know, when you breed a dog, from the first day that they start to bleed, you can't breed them then. They won't accept them. They're not fertile then. Their eggs have not dropped yet, okay? And the reason when we talk about progesterone test is because to know when that time is. Now, you can do the old school method to where you can put male dog next to the female, and if she lets him mount and is accepting or is flagging, moving the tail out of the way, or if he wants to mount or is interested, depending on if the stud knows or not, you can do it that way, but, results tend to differ depending on, whether your guess is right or not, okay? Now, I choose, and like many people in the bully community do, I chose to do progesterone. I do multiple progesterone tests before I do a breeding. I do it a couple days. I do it day 7. I do it typically day 9. I do it typically the day of, okay, or the day before. But what we did was, the plan was to go down Sunday, get there that night, which would be like 12 o'clock a.m. Wait till tomorrow, do a progesterone, see where she's at. If she was ready, we would do the AI that day, and then I'd head back to SAC. Or if she was, right there but not quite ready yet, we were prepared to stay Tuesday, Wednesday. Okay. All right. I'm going to go over not top 5 best studs for you guys. I'm going to go over, some up and comers that I think you guys should take a look at. Typically, these are dogs that not many people know about, or not many people are using, but have caught my attention. So I'll be going over those once I give you guys this update. Okay. What's up, brother? What's up, Jay-Z? Okay. You guys know that I never got there. Okay, I never got there. I got back home, and I never got to SoCal. I didn't get close. Okay, all in all, out of the 6.5-hour drive, I got an hour and a half in before I broke down. So it is what it is. It's my fault, really. There's a car we use for non-road trips, or to work and back, which is my Honda. And then the car we use for any road trips, which is my 2016 Tahoe, that I have. It's brand fucking new. And I didn't want to drive a V8 all the way to SoCal, and wanted to save some gas, but it is what it is. Okay, so why were we still on time? Okay, so I knew that on day 7, she probably was going to be at like a 4.5 or a 5. So I knew Monday we'd do a progesterone test. She'd be either ready or right there, ready to go. Okay. So I said, okay, let's keep exactly that plan, except we're going to get the semen shipped in. Now, the whole reason for me to go down there, number one, is to, make connection with the breeder, make connection with Robert, Bully Market, see Bistro, maybe take some pictures with him and Vita. And then if not anything other than, and if anything else, make sure if the semen wasn't, amazing, we would do a breeding right then and there, fresh, and it would be still a pretty good breeding, right? But long story short, I called Rob. I said, hey, man, I need you to go down tomorrow. We need you to get the semen shipped. And he needs to come in. We're going to do a breeding Tuesday. If she's not ready on Tuesday, because at the same time he's shipping the semen, or he's getting the semen ready to get shipped, I did a progesterone test. So I didn't get the results till 4 or 5 o'clock. So if she wasn't ready, which I don't think it was the impossibility for her not to be ready, but if she wasn't ready, I was prepared to spend $450 more, $400 more to get collected and shipped again. Now, would it be as good as the day before? I don't really know. I'm pretty sure, once they get collected, they have a lower count for the next 3 weeks or something. I don't know exactly. I'm not a reproductive specialist. I don't know if they shoot the same as if they were, first time pulled in like a month, right? I don't know. But for me, it would make sense that it would go down, right? So I do the progesterone test at 9. He hits me up at 12. He's getting the dog collected. I text my vet, Dr. C, at 3 o'clock. I said, hey, I need to know what the number is. Is there any way I can get the results faster? I need to know if I can do a surgical or a TCI tomorrow. I need to know as soon as possible. Dr. C went in, called me, read me my results right there. She's at a 9.2. She ovulated either Sunday night to Monday morning. She's ready to go the next day. So, okay, cool. Okay. Bullet Girl, I'm taking you through South Africa. Man, wow. Thank you, Donald Williams. Oh, Donald William Adams. All right. So check this out. I'm just taking you guys through this. So day of the breeding comes. You know, it's over. When they ship semen from a reproductive place, they make sure the semen is not like all plasma or a little bit of semen. They basically condense the shipment, right? So what I was shipped was about I think it was like 10 cc's, something like that, of condensed stuff. Now the mortality rate of this semen was at 80%. And the reason why my vet felt as if he wanted it to be better is not because it was bad, because an 80% mortality rate is considered very good. The only thing is, at 80% mortality, you're going to be getting the semen shipped in. The extender does help the semen. It doesn't absolutely, help over the overall quality, right? So the quality goes down when you ship. No matter who ships it, he says the quality goes down. So if at 80%, there's 80% swimmers, and what that means is 80% as in 80 out of the 100% of the semen, 80% of them are actually swimming in a direction. The others are either dead or swimming in circles. If you see a lot of, like, say, I know a lot of you guys look at semen, or some of you may look at semen. Like I've seen a couple pictures and video, or a couple of videos before, where there is a shitload of spiral swimmers and not a lot, and they were like, "Oh, this is great sperm." And I looked at it and took one look. I'm like, it's shitty sperm. You know what I mean? So all in all, I got 10 cc's. He sent me in. I got there at 9:30, 10 o'clock, and my appointment is at 11. I didn't get I asked the receptionist, "Hey, did a package come in for me?" And she goes, "What's your name?" I just told her my name. She goes, "Oh, no, it hasn't came in yet." 20 minutes goes by. Rob hits me up with a tracking number. I track it. It says delivered. I walk back to the receptionist. I said, "Hey, it's delivered. Where's the box?" Oh, she goes, let me see. And she started looking through these boxes next to her desk. Lo and behold, there you go. And guess who signed for it? She signed for it, right? So that's just like, you guys got to be on your shit when you're doing this, for sure, because they, like, the way that it has to be done to give yourselves the best opportunity to have puppies is to be very on point. And for you being on point, you're going to be able to keep other people on point, which in turn is going to help you have better puppies and keep them in check. Like, hey, what's fuck's going on, right? Dave Chua, start with one very good female if you're going to start breeding. All right, so no, I wasn't pissed, but it was just like, come on, right? Like, woman, you signed for the box. All right, anyways, okay. So I texted Dr. C at that time, said, "Hey, the semen's here. Let's get this done," right? Time is of the essence. Emergency comes in. I get pushed back, right? I get pushed back till fucking, till 1:15, right? So I'm sitting there, and I was there the whole time, because when I'm not going to leave the vet when my dog's being inseminated. Sometimes things happen and decisions have to be made, right? I mean, not too much can happen with the surgical, because it's such a small incision. But with anything, I want to make sure I'm there if something were to happen. Semen went under the microscope. They checked mortality. Mortality looked very good. I went to the back room with the vets where they're doing surgery. I looked at the semen. It was good. That was the picture of the video I posted for you guys. And they did the breeding. Now, so I'm thinking, like, because I had never actually been told this by anybody, right? These horns are very small, right? Until they get big puppies, that's when they expand. But they start off like this. Thank you, Chief. I appreciate that, bro. Anyway, so they're very small. And the receptionist comes out, brings Vita. Vita's all fucking, you know, this is like 2, 3 o'clock. It's not 3 o'clock. She done the breeding was the surgical AI was done at 2:15. No. 1:15, 1:30, and she was out of it of surgery recovery at 3 o'clock. So she comes stumbling and shit, and she goes, "Hey, there's extra semen. The vet said to give it to you if you wanted to do another AI." And I was just like, "What the fuck do you mean it's extra semen?" Right? And I'm like, "What the fuck do you mean there's extra semen? How's there extra semen? What the fuck did y'all do?" Right? So, but the thing is, the vet that was there is not the vet, it's not my vet, right? So I'm tripping. I'm like, okay, wait a minute. I text my vet right away. I'm like, yo, they used only 3 cc's of the 10 cc's. What the fuck is going on, right? And exactly, AA bullies. You're exactly fucking right. Well, they use 3 cc's, so I'm thinking 1.5 in each horn, right? So, I mean, I've never actually been told that. I'm pretty sure that when I got shipped semen from last time or a couple times before, I never actually been told how much they used in a horn, right? No, I mean, I wasn't mad, right? So I was just like thinking, like, what the fuck? Like, what? 3 cc's? You know what I mean? So I hit up my doctor and I started doing research right then and there. And she's like, "Do you want this? Do you want it? You can do another breeding." And I was like, "I'm not going to do an AI on my female that I just, you know, had surgery on because her shit's hurting right now." You know what I mean? So I said, "No, just throw that shit away. Like, if we didn't get her off that, we ain't gonna get her, right? Because I'm not gonna do anything else." So I threw it away, or they threw it away. And the whole ride home, thinking like, "Fuck, what the fuck? Like 3 cc's out of 10, bitch, man, motherfucker, put that shit in her. Just leave it like a puddle there, right? Like right outside. Whatever. There's a horn, the uterus. Put it in the uterus." So apparently, so check this out. I did some research on this. There's 2 ways to do a surgical. The one way to do it is to inject sperm directly into a horn and fill it up, right? 0.5, you know, what at 1.5, whatever, however much. Ask your question on here, David. Well, however much that horn holds, okay? And there's another way to where they inject the semen. They inject actually more semen into the uterus or whatever it is right in front of the horns, and they slowly work it in there with their hands. Now, I don't know why they would actually do that, because the other way actually seems more logical, but that is a way to do it, which I read up on, okay? Anyway, so my vet got back to me. He goes, "Look, 3 cc's is actually a lot. They typically use like 1 cc or a half a cc for each horn. 3 cc's means that her horns are a little bit bigger than normal, right? You don't using more than that could be detrimental to the breeding. That's why why we say we need high quality semen. That's why, because we only use 3 cc's. So I did the calculation, right? It was like, 309 million cc, 309 million sperm. Divide that by 10 cc's. Came out with like, per cc was, I don't know what the fuck it was, like 90 million, something like that. Not per cc, but within that 3 cc mark, they had like 70 to 80, like 90 million sperm, right? I was like, yeah, that's it's probably more than anybody needs to have babies, right? But You know what I mean? That like just seems so low because everybody just talks about how, oh, this one collection was 1 billion sperm. This one collection was 900 million sperm. And then you come to find out, I've been doing this for 7 years. I just found out they only use fucking 1 cc to 2 cc's in a surgical breeding and TCI, right? So I'm thinking like, oh, this stud's crazy. He's throwing, 1 billion sperm in that one session. You know, like you put 1 billion sperm into a female, they're definitely getting pregnant. No, it don't work like that. It doesn't work like that, which is fucking funny, man. Hey, what? You know what I mean? So it's funny. It made me laugh, and I thought about it, and I said, okay, that makes sense. The sperm was good. I took a look at it before we used it. Had it not been good, had it been like 50%, fuck, man, 40%, I'd be tripping right now, but it was still really good sperm, right? Light bulb? Yeah. Ian Fernando said, does Bully Max work, bro? No. No. Don't use Bully Max, man. Yeah, we'll be going over 5 up and coming studs right now, Ramon. So I don't know. David Carroll, what makes a stud have good sperm? I don't know. Well, I don't know, like I know what good sperm is. I don't know what makes them have that good sperm. You know what I mean? What is mortality? Mortality is basically how many sperm are swimming in like a direction, right? So, like I said, if you look at the sperm, not many of you do when you breed, but if you look at the sperm when you're about to do a breeding, and well, if you're looking at a sperm, it means you're doing it right. It means that you probably should know already if it's bad sperm or good sperm. But basically, how many sperm are swimming in a direction? Like they're swimming straight, and that means that sperm will swim towards eggs rather than sperm that are either not swimming, dead, or swimming in circles. Which I don't know if those are not really considered dead, but they're just not good because they're not going to be swimming towards the egg. I don't even know why a sperm would swim in circles, right? I don't know. Maybe it's a retarded sperm. I don't know, man. All I know is for it to be considered a mortality or a sperm that's a good sperm, that sperm has to be swimming in a direction, meaning it will swim like towards eggs. Well, no, what's the percentage? I mean, so I think 50% or 40 to 50% is considered fair. 60 to 70% is considered good, and 80 to 90% is considered very good. Which is, I don't even know if there's like 100% mortality. You know what I mean? Like weird, and then anything under like 40% is considered bad, I guess. No, for really though, I don't think that if a sperm is swimming in circles, it can never get to the egg. The circle ones are the exotics. You stupid fool. All right, let's see here. All right, so let's talk about last thing we'll talk about my story, my side is we got the breeding done. How many millions? I'm very excited about it, and I feel really good about it. It was perfect timing. It was exactly where we needed to do a breeding at, and we'll see. Right? That's the only thing you can really do is give yourselves the best chance to actually get puppies. Now, with AIs though, if you do it absolutely 100% correct, you still have an 80% chance. Or, excuse me, you only have an 80% chance to get puppies, right? If you do it that means that when you do AI, you only have you have a 20% chance that you won't get puppies, right? So out of 10 breedings you do AI, you're statistically going to get 2 litters that you don't take. Hopefully, this one takes. We just don't know until we get to that point. You know what I mean? Ghost, she had 6 last time. Her mom had her most was 9. You know, I just don't know. I don't want any more than 6. I don't want any less than 3. I think I talked about that before. Okay. Oh, Laura Allen asked, "Do all bullies have C-sections?" No, I don't think they do, but I think they should. The reason I think the bullies should have C-sections is because if you look at the lineage and ancestors, they're not meant to be this big and this square-headed as newborns, right? And typically, if you look at the bulldog, they don't come naturally. Period. Right? And it's in the blood now. And American Pit Bull Terriers, American Staffordshire Terriers, yeah, they usually go naturally, but they don't have big heads like our dogs do. I honestly believe that every bully should pretty much plan on doing a C-section, because if your dogs are bully, they're not going to go normally. Sorry to hear that, man. Don't. Are like most of the pit bulls fat? I don't know what you're talking about, Sonic. So we breed bullies. Everybody on here, we know bullies. American Pit Bull Terriers and American Bullies are 2 totally different dogs, bred for 2 totally different reasons, and have 2 totally different looks. Bullies are not pit bulls, absolutely, Ray. And Ramon, they're not pit bulls. Exactly. Exactly right. Okay. So, I did mean to have 5 dogs up and coming on the computer, but I'm on live on YouTube. But I want to talk about a couple up and coming dogs that I really fucking like, man. I really like. The number 1 dog I want to talk about, and I actually remember I haven't talked about this dog for a while now. His name is Grand Champion Beast Boy. Now, I didn't look at Beast Boy all too much when I first seen him. Number 1, because his name was Beast Boy. I don't know. It just felt like they were trying to sell it too hard, right? They were trying to sell that Beast Boy. He's a beast, right? And I was just like, whatever, write him off. He's a black dog, whatever. And this dude, this is a Grand Champion. Grand Champion Beast Boy is he's a beast. There's no doubt about it. I meant to hit up her owner, and her name's Cassie or something like that, about his stats. About his stats, but I didn't forget. I just forgot. So what I'll do is I'm gonna post a picture on my Instagram. If you guys aren't following me on Instagram, it's at Thee Bullco. I'm going to post a picture of him on my Instagram. I think you guys should take a look. He's a black dog, but he's absolutely beautiful. He's an amazing pocket dog. I'm pretty sure he's pocket. Fairly certain. We can't do Ohm full. I already did Ohm a couple weeks ago. I'm located in Sacramento. Bistro's stats? I don't know. From what I've seen Bistro for, I think he was 16 inches tall, same length as he was tall. He might be 70 pounds, maybe a little under or above. I would say about 70 though. Now, you guys got to understand that Bistro wasn't this all crazy breed type dog. But what he did was he was one of the first dogs, not one of the first. He was a dog to be very popularized with the color, with the structure, with the girth. Girth as in he was very balanced. He had it all. Right, yeah, he had little flaws. He had the flaws. He definitely had flaws. He had the east-to-westy feet. He has the overbite or underbite. I can't remember what it was, but he did, right? But he had the, other than that though, he had the entire package. He had a beautiful structure. He had a great rear end setup, and that's one of the things we're looking for the rear end and color. You know what I mean? So. What do you think about Grand Champion Bone Crusher from Black Label? I seen his dog. I seen their dogs, Bone Crusher. Not that I don't think anything of them. I just haven't had the inclination to want to talk about them. Like, yeah, I've seen them, right? Like they look great. They look great in pictures. But the thing about pictures, guys, you have to understand this, is that those guys are great handlers. And they understand what should be seen as correct. So that's what they show. And I seen a handler recently who was supposed to be out there, or who had supposedly been taught by somebody out there in Midwest, whatever. And this guy was handling his dog so fucking tough. Pulled the head up, loaded the hawk. So what he did was he pulled the head up, kept it taut, pulled the hawk so high to where the dog would drop its ass and then let go of it. And he would put his hand on the ass. And he would keep the dog like that. But if the dog raised up again, he would do it again. He would fucking pull the front, the leg pointing to the judge out. And make the dog drop his ass and then let the hawk go. So when he would stop, when the dog got what he was trying to do, the dog would sit there in that position. Low, you would show the tapering top line with a nice turn to stifle, but it's not what this dog was, right? So you have to take these pictures you see with a grain of salt. Now, I'm not saying about Bone Crusher or even about Black Label at all. I'm not saying they do that, but I'm saying is you have to take pictures as a whole into account because they're just pictures. They capture that one moment. That one moment might have been the best moment they had. And the moment after that, they were standing straight up with their hawks straight, right? What's up, Bloodline? Do you think Bistro is a thicker version of Luciano? No. I'm pretty sure Luciano was bigger than Bistro. But actually, I've never even thought about it. You've seen it. Exactly. What's up, Rock Solid? Hey, big shout out to my boy Nico out there. Rock Solid Style Bullies. My man right there, man. So I never even thought about what Luciano's stats were. Back in 2013, this is the same picture that everybody sees. I seen those pictures when they first were released. The pictures of him in the grass with the pine behind him. Those pictures, I was one of the first ones. I guarantee I was one of the first ones to see that picture when they posted those pictures, man. I was like, holy fuck, look at this dog, right? And then after a while, it kind of died out for me, and it was kind of like, Now, don't get me wrong, Luciano is a great producing dog. He's produced a couple a lot of grand champions, not a lot, a couple grand champions, a couple champions. But he's he's in the fucking gene pool, right? So, I don't think that Luciano is smaller than Bistro. Bistro is smaller than Luciano for sure. I think he was talking about weight, though, Renico. I was thinking about, like, I'm not thinking, when I say bigger and smaller, I typically talk about girth wise, but not height. I should have just explained that. Have you heard of that dog, Low Blow? Yeah, I heard that. I heard his dog. We talked about this last time. I said his dog was named Low Blow because his front legs are far below his rear. And so I recently ran into some guys from the Bully Camp line. And they're guys, you know, just like you and I, that are trying to just produce, I don't know about nice dogs, but produce dogs that they like, right? One guy from the Bully Camp line, he said he could ship some dogs for me if I needed, but the thing is, like, I don't really ship dogs out of state or out of the U.S., out of country. And the reason I don't do that is because I think it's too much on the dog. You know what I mean? But yeah, we'll see. But he was cool, you know, Asian guy. But you know, it's not my time. I mean, there's a lot of exotic people that go to my vet, right? Because he's fucking cheap, you know, and he does a really good job. But I mean, they were cool, man. I mean, I have nothing against exotic breeders. Now, I do stress what I call a breeder is totally different from what they think it is. You can put two dogs together and have them fuck, or, you know, do an AI and call yourself a breeder. That's not a fucking breeder, right? You got to understand a couple things. Let's see here. What about Denzel? Okay, so Denzel. So the owner of Denzel, which is, what the fuck is his name? It's on the tip of my tongue. I talked to dude a lot, or I've talked to dude a lot before. TBK owner. What's Denzel's owner's name? Say Stacy? No, Stacy. Terrell. Yeah, there you go. Terrell. So Terrell always talks about how you know, Denzel was one of the first to ever do things, right? How Hallie B, Denzel's mom, is the first ABKC champion, and Quincy, yeah. Is it Terrell Quincy? It is Terrell Quincy, right? How Hallie B was the first champion, and how Denzel was, I don't know if it's about the first champion. I don't know. He's always talking about Doug. Anyway, so what I've come to learn. No disrespect, I'm out of here. Joe Luna, what was your question, bro? Wait. Joe Luna, what was your question, dude? Joe, don't leave, man. Don't feel like that. What guarantee do I have that the sperm I pay for is out of the stuff that I paid it? No, okay, Joe, sorry, man. I didn't even see that question. You don't have a guarantee yet, right? What you can do is, one, you shouldn't be breeding to a dog without a contract, okay? Number two, when you have puppies, you ask for the DNA of that dog, either from the registry or from the person, if you have an inclination that you have been duped, okay? Now, typically, I would never do this because I really don't work people who are even halfway shady, or even or maybe even not even known, right? I work with known people because they've been doing it for a while, they have respect, and they know that their reputation in this world is everything. This isn't fucking Walmart. There's no Dow. There's no, stocks that you can buy, stockholders, stuff like that. Your word is your bond. Your word in this community is your stock. If you fuck that up, you don't do this anymore. There's nothing that you can do to fix that. People don't work with you, right? And trust me, the bully community is all online, and Everybody hears about all the fucking drama that ever happens, and they don't forget, right? Right? It's about good business. You're right. So Joe Luna, how do you guarantee that? Number one, you trust with a trusted person. You work with a trusted person. Number two, you breed from a dog that has more than 3 litters out of that, or out of the ABKC. You know, not out of the ABKC, but you know, I'm thinking bully ABKC, right? American Bully ABKC. After 3 litters, that dog's DNA should be on file. If you have an inclination that it was duped or you were duped, you ask for a DNA test, you send in a DNA test for puppies. If they're duped, that person gets banned, and then you can sue for damages or whatever you want to do with that, right? Yeah, ghosts, typical, I mean, it doesn't always happen like that because, you know, semen gets shipped around the world, right? But I would say if you're not really versed in this, I would say find a stud that's close that you could be on site when it happens. Either you go to a vet near that stud, near that dog, or near that stud, or that stud comes to you. I don't know many studs that would do that, but just for your, peace of mind. But I would definitely say, hey, work with somebody who's trusted, who's been doing it for a while. They typically don't burn you because they want to continue doing what they're doing. Sorry about that, Joe. I know you got kind of mad there, my man, but we were just kind of going over crazy shit. Anyways, okay, about Denzel. I think Denzel was amazing for the time he was out. He was what the bully community needed, right? He was shorter, had a shorter back, he was more complete. But I think that he's well past his time, right? When he first came out, he was the dog that was before his time. And there's a couple dogs like that, right? Now he's past it. Now there's dogs that are have as good angles, who is just as short but move better, right? And that's how it should be when people are breeding the dog right. Now, don't get me wrong, there are people who are breeding the dog wrong. But I think there are definitely people who do it right. Well, Joe Luna, if you're looking for somebody who will do a natural tie for you, you could breed to Jerry from down the street, who has an ABKC stud that you will be comfortable with. Will you be producing the best dogs you absolutely can? Probably not, unless not top stud, unless a good stud from the ABKC lives down the street, which I don't typically think that's going to happen, right? Jerry, yeah, exactly. Hey, was that you, Rel, who said that? Oh, yeah, Maze, I appreciate that, Maze. So Maze said, hey, man, I seen the entire Iron Man series, and I used many of your techniques that actually work, why I showed it to you guys, man. I don't show you shit that doesn't work, right? Do you have any suggestions on kibble, feed, or what you should feed American Pit Bull Terrier, 5 months old? I don't have really suggestions, my man. I do say typically with American bullies, bully breeds as a whole, they do have an allergy to grains, and it doesn't mean just because it's grain free it's going to work. Sometimes you have to switch food a couple times to get the right food for your dog. Like when I first started back in 2012, I used to try to feed like grain free Nature's Domain from Costco, which was cheap. But at the end, it did not work out for my dogs. Although it was grain free, it just didn't work. So you gotta switch it up, even if it takes a couple times to find the right food. I would look more towards like Diamond, Naturals, grain free. I use Taste of the Wild, something that I've used forever now. I use Victor, which isn't a grain free, but my dogs don't have a allergy to that. Also, Blue Buffalo. I've never had really good results with Blue Buffalo, typically because I don't know, just something about the Blue Buffalo, maybe too high in protein for their stomachs. I don't know, but I typically use or switch from Victor to or rotate from Victor to Taste of Wild. Hey, bro, totally off the topic, but what was the whole dilemma of Carolina Bully Farm? I was watching the video last night. Okay. So, Carolina Bully Farm, basically, long story short, you guys know that Carolina Bully Farm is a puppy mill, right? So they got so much show to the point where they were buying litters off of people that were supposedly bullies and then hanging the papers underneath their grand champion, King Money, or Mo Money, wherever the fuck the name was. Anyways, they sold a bully that they said was off of Young Money, King Money, Mo Money, and No Money. I don't know the fucking name. They sold the dog. They sold the dog to the wrong fucking guy. And the dude was like, this ain't a bully. This looks like a fucking shepherd breed bred to a fucking pit bull. And it was very apparent too, right? The dog had very long hair, like shaggy hair, long hair on the tail, right? And when they got asked to provide DNA for Mo Money, which is the reason why ABKC requires studs that have more than 3 litters be DNA tested, they said no. We don't want to give you the DNA, right? So they got banned from the ABKC, and then they got banned from the UKC. Now, you'll still find these guys still dabbling in the American Pit Bull Terrier or the American Bully because there are so many fucking registries, USVR, USDA, or, BBCR, BRNE, Be On Your Knees, crazy shit, right? So they still can find registries to fuck around in, but they're not in the main ones because they're buying litters and selling them for a premium price because they had a huge social media following, and then they got called out in their shit. So that's pretty much there. To my knowledge, they might be the only one. No, not the only ones. To my knowledge, them and Kev Green are the only ones banned, legitimately banned. When getting in the game, they wanted me to drop my account of pup. See, so $5,000 to $6,000 on a quality foundation dog is absolutely normal. I would say it's absolutely normal, especially with how popular this breed is. The thing about it, though, is are you buying foundation stock or are you buying stock that you have to breed a couple generations to get, your foundation, right? So Mike Bratton said, why is Kev Green banned? Okay, so Kev Green and ABKC have 2 different stories of why they're banned or why he's banned, right? And the only story that I care to know is ABKC's. Not because I think they're right, because I don't know Kev Green. I don't support Kev Green. He don't know me. I don't know him. I don't say anything about him, Dad, but I don't know the guy, right? So what the ABKC said is that Kev Green was throwing shows, borrowing money from people to throw the shows, and never paid them back. Those people said, that he owed them money. Then he owed the ABKC money, and it is what it is, right? And Ray Vega, ABKC sucks. They sold out. Man, so the funny thing when people say that is, number one, I want to know what you mean by they sold out. Do you mean that they started to move towards a more standardized dog? They want to make dogs. They want to make sure dogs are bred properly and bred the same, right? Because I've seen your comments before, right? And I commented back to you a couple times, and I know, you typically don't like the ABKC. I can feel that. And I'm not here to defend them, guys. I'm not a part of the ABKC. Like, if you go on the ABKC website, you'll find my name as a mentor on their website. But other than mining being on the website and me showing in their registry, I don't have ties to them, right? I don't talk to Dave. I don't talk to judges. I don't fucking have barbecues with these guys. You know what I mean? Like, they're not my friends. They don't holler at me to see how I'm doing. You know what I mean? I'm on a fucking island out here, right? So I'm not sitting here. I don't talk up ABKC. Now, the reason that I like showing in the ABKC is because I'm comfortable. I like them. Okay, let me rephrase that. I'm comfortable. Let's keep it at that. I don't necessarily like them. I think that there's a lot of, just like with anything, there's a lot of politics. A lot of times it's not what you know, it's who you know. It's politics. It's not what you know, it's what you can prove. It's politics, right? So, but you can't tell me that every other registry doesn't have. Yeah. Okay. So every registry that have politics. Yes, the ABKC judge is my handler. But at the same time, can you really argue that Vita isn't one of the best females in the nation? Jamie, you've seen her. You can't deny that. Top line, movement, girth, bite. She don't, I mean, glaring weakness? You can't find one. Oh, I know you're not arguing. I'm not. So when I start talking about dogs, Jamie, I get really like passionate because this is what I like doing. So I know I hear you. Well, I guess you can say that I have a judge that shows my dog, but ties. But I was thinking more of, I don't know. I guess I would say that I don't have ties, as in I don't have any money put into the ABKC, or I don't have any stake in it. Exactly, right? I don't know the owner. I don't know James Coop. I don't know Dave Wilson like that. I don't talk to those guys. They don't know me. When, you know what I mean? Like, when they mention top dogs and shit, they don't mention me, right? They don't mention my kennel or my bullies or my dogs. They don't fucking know me, right? Yes, an ABKC judge is my handler, and not for any other reason than she has 20 years in dogs, showing dogs. And when I first started showing Vita, after we champed her out, she asked if she can handle Vita. That was it. That was honestly it. I didn't seek her out. We met one day at a show and was like, "Hey, can I show your dog?" And I was like, "Sure." And that was it, right? And the people, like, it's so hard to think past that, right? When Vita first started winning, because she had finally started becoming the dog she should have been, or she always was going to become. People were like, "Oh, just whispering back and forth. Oh, that's a judge right there. That's a judge right there." No, that's bullshit, man. Vita's taken best in shows and best in breeds under different handlers before. Myself, her dad's owner, and Rebecca. But I don't, I don't let people handle my dog. I let trusted people handle her if I don't want to handle her. But at the end of the day, yes, Vita is handled by an ABKC judge, but she doesn't win because she's a judge. You guys seen Vita before. You've seen the way she looks. She's 2 years old. I think she's still getting better, right? But then the bitch is getting badder. She really is. Ray, you still there, bro? I still want to know if you why you don't like ABKC. Have you heard of Hurricane Bloodline? I have, but I haven't really paid attention to it. You know what I mean? Like, I guess for me to pay attention to it, you got to do something. You got to do some big things. to pay attention to you. And that's not to be like, you know, I'm all powerful or I know everything. I really don't. It's just, you know, to get on the radar, you have to do something pretty big or at least be consistent. And yeah, Vita is on point, man. She really is on point. Vita's still top 10. She's been bred twice this year. I mean, she hasn't been shown all that much. She's shown maybe 3 months out of this year in his top 10. She might even be like 5th or 6th. If we go to the new bin, we take 1 or 2 best of breeds, we might be 3rd. Or at least 4th, right? So, yeah, I think you've seen Vita. I have no ties to ABKC. I stand firm there, for sure. Bully Max, what's your opinion on Bully Max? So Bully Max is bullshit. Here's the reason why. Okay, Bully Max says that, oh, you can feed this stuff to your dog. It has 30-something, you know, 30-something grams of protein, and it's gonna get your dog as big as they possibly can. But here's the thing, guys. You don't understand that as a puppy, you don't want to overfeed your dog protein. You're gonna allow their bones to grow faster, but unknowingly, you can't grow ligaments faster, soft tissue faster. So you start to get dogs that look like Easty Westy. And I honestly think, I even wrote a blog about this. I don't know if you guys read it on thebullco.com. The pandemic of the American Bully, the Easty Westy feet, is not so much breeding, but more so environmental, more so ownership. Because I have had dogs who had perfect fronts when they were born at 8 weeks. You know, I've seen their, you know, at 5 months old, great fronts. But when that dog is with someone else, they want that dog, and you guys can't lie about this, you guys want that dog to be that perfect stud or that big stud, muscular, because they're going to have muscles already, right? Wrong. Because they're going to have muscles. You want to nourish that. You want to nourish those muscles, but that's where you fuck up at. Because you don't want to overfeed your puppy. You don't want to overfeed your growing puppy because the ligaments cannot keep up with the amount of weight that these dogs genetically have. And that's the problem. That's why Easty Westy feet, even so, there was a post on the ABKC page on Facebook about when are we going to breed this out? And I was thinking, like, what the fuck are you talking about? Easty Westy feet come from 2 things, guys: bad breeding, or you know, genetic, or environmental, being overfed, being too heavy for the ligaments. And I think the reason why most of these dogs are fucking or are messed up is not because of bad genetics. It's because they're being overfed as puppies. Now, is it the truth? I don't know. I'm just saying. That's what my thinking is, right? All right, guys. So, guys, give me a second. I'm going to end the Instagram live. We're going to go a little bit more for you guys. And give me a second, okay? Sorry, YouTube. Hands on your face. Okay, sorry. I went to a show. The judges were jockeying long-haired, short, squatted, ugly dog. He won. My dog looks better, and he's just a backyard dog. Well, Ray, you know, to that, my man, and I'm not going to say you're wrong because we have all had that kind of experience, I believe. What I think you need to do is step back, right? Number one, you need to step back from that experience and ask yourself, are people perfect? If you ask yourself that, are people perfect, you'll understand that people are not perfect. So judges cannot be perfect. Although they have a written standard and a written ethics to what they do, they're not perfect. They're not impermeable to social pressure, to friends, to acquaintances, right? And I'm not saying that's a quick case here. I'm saying that they're not perfect. Okay. What you need to do is you need to continue to show if your dog is that good, it will come out. No matter who's trying to keep you down, no matter what. Can I tell you right now, when I first got in this game, man, I got blackballed by the head judge. Okay. And for no other reason other than I kind of got in an argument with him about him being fresh with my wife. Okay. So I never actually won under this judge, and I never did. I never did before, and I definitely never did after. But I continued to show, right? I continue to have belief in what I believe in, on what I can show a judge, what I can produce to show to a judge, right? And another thing, Ray, man, I know you went to a show and you got picked over another dog. It's just one show, man. It's just one event. Why do you? There's so many events out there, and if you're gonna allow just one show to make you feel bad, maybe because it was your first show, or if it, one show made you feel a certain kind of way because it was, I don't know, the first show, or you believe different. I can tell you right now, man, there's a lot of times that I've lost to lesser dogs. But I don't think that the judge was their friend, nor do I think that my dog is better. I think that I didn't show something to that judge that allowed them to pick my dog over this dog. Right? But that's the thing, right? It is standard. But where judges differ is their interpretations of that standard. Okay? And I'll give you a prime example. And I'm going to lose a couple of people on this. Okay? So if you read the standard, it says that the shoulder should be laid back, well laid back at a 45-degree angle. And if you compare the standard to the UKC standard, UKC standard talks about the whole shoulder as a whole being 45 degrees at a 45-degree angle. But the ABKC wanted to be a little different, said the upper bone, or whatever it may be, and upper bone, and then it should be the shoulder bone. I don't know what the fuck it was. Anyway, they broke these bones down into two different bones and said that these bones should basically meet at the 45-degree angle, and the UKC standard is the shoulder as a whole should be a 45-degree angle. Different wording, same result, right? People will interpret it differently. It is a standard. I guarantee you that I interpret the standard a lot differently from how you interpret the standard, right? It is a standard. But the one thing that's the variable is how that individual interprets the standard. And that includes the judge. And that includes the handler. And that includes the breeder, whether they're a breeder handler or not. That includes them. Right? So yeah, we're all under this same roof, but we're fucking different individuals that are interpreting the standard, for sure. It is vague. You're right. What's your top breeders to get pups from if you don't have any available? I live in Reno. Top breeders. Huh. I don't know, man. Okay, so Ray said ABKC lets a lot happen. They do. Okay, but I think of it as this, as in they're going after the bigger picture and not the little stragglers. Eventually, those little things will work themselves out. They will be gone. The people making the decisions will be gone, and the people who are making the right decisions will eventually will stay. Right? They do, man. It is what it is. Right? Like if I think of it like this, if I was a owner of a huge corporation, they're not a huge corporation, but as many people that are involved with the ABKC and how involved they are with the people, there's a lot of people to try to make happy, right? And I don't want you to feel like they don't want to make you happy, Ray. But I am going to tell you that you're only one person, and you're not the only person who thinks that way. But you're an individual that got jaded from one show that they went to, that thought that they should have won when they didn't, and now you're jaded. Okay, let me tell you my story. Okay, I went to shows before. I lost a lot before. I lost to dogs I thought I should have won over before, and I still do, right? But the thing is with me is I don't think that there's somebody working against me. I just think that I need to be better, right? You can think about however you want, but you at the end of the day, man, you're either a victim of your circumstance or you learn from it. It depends on what kind of person you are, right? Wait, who's talking about Ram Ramos? Pretty girl bullies. I don't think a lot of people like my speech. I think that there's a lot of people out there that would rather me silent than be what I am and do what I do. But fuck it. Ray Vega, the breed is not going to shit, man. As long as you have people like me breeding dogs that are fucking great dogs, it's not going to shit. Even if, and I know I'm not the last breeder that's breeding great dogs. So the breed's not going to shit. And you can, you know what I mean? Like, honestly, man, like you can do what you want, leave a bad comment, put a thumbs down on every single video I ever post. It's not going to shit. All right, bro, Bone, take it easy, brother. You know what I mean? Like, I don't want to call you a hater, my man. I just think you're uninformed. It's not going to shit. There's a lot of breeders out there doing it right. Right? There's people from the Northwest that are fucking health testing their dogs, that want their dogs to be not only look healthy, but actually be healthy. Right? And I think that the ABKC will essentially follow suit. They will essentially, everybody in the ABKC will start to test their dogs, health test their dogs, right? And not only think that or not only just look like their dog is healthy, but actually be healthy and certified healthy. Jamie Ross, wow, what? No, it's not me. I don't exotics, man. I don't think exotics. I don't count exotics in what I do. When I talk about American Bully, I mean American Bully. I don't fucking mean exotics. Exotics aren't American bullies. And I'll argue that all day long, my friend. You know what I mean? And I don't disown exotics, right? I do know breeders who are my friends who breed exotic dogs. Fucking Jerry's, exactly. Hey, dude, I'm telling you, somebody said that shit. I'm calling every breeder who thinks they're a breeder a Jerry. Honestly, there are breeders in the American Bully who just are Jerrys. Like, you're a Jerry, bro. Like, you're the fucking Jerry from down the street. You are just normal and and fucking just cutting corners and don't know what you're doing, right? So now Jerrys aren't just exotic breeders. Jerrys are everywhere. You have a beast litter now. Ooh, I want to see. Like a beast, like the beast, grand champion beast boy litter. Because that's a badass dog. Exotics are ugly. They're not my kind of dogs. They really not. So this guy, I'll tell you that story. Exotic breeders love talking numbers, right? They love talking money, right? And so I meet a lot of exotic breeders at my vet, and they always look at my dogs, and they're always like, "Oh, that's an American Bully. Ah, it's really tall, right?" Oh, da, da, da. I was like, "Well, how much you sell your dogs for?" "Oh, my dogs go for 3,000-4,000 each one, right?" And I just like sit there. I'm like, "Oh, that's cool, man. That's a good amount of money for that dog, right?" And I was like, "But don't you think that once that person figures out that dog isn't a companion, isn't a dog that they're used to, isn't a dog that's going to make them money, don't you feel like you're kind of getting them a little bit, or you're stealing from them, right?" Uh, and typically they kind of stop talking to me at that. And that's a nice litter. I'd love to see that, Jamie Beast Boy. I like that dog a lot. Uh, and and there's been a couple times where people ask how much money I sell my dogs for, right? And I told them no, and I told them, I'd rather not talk prices. I only talk prices with potential customers. You're not my customer. That's the only people I talk prices to. What I can tell you is I do this for a living. Pays all the bills, pays my mortgage, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Now, do I breed dogs for money? No. I do a lot of other shit. I do a lot of things that make me money. I think breeding dogs as a hobby is just icing on the cake. Okay, Ray. So Ray Vegas still talking about these dogs. So Ray, I want you to do me a favor, brother. I want you to email me your dog, please. Email me your dog. Email me a video, pictures, whatever you want. My email is marcusjose@thebullco.com. And I want to see your dog. You're talking about all these dogs with high rears, blah, blah, blah. What you need to understand is it isn't what dog doesn't have any flaws. It's which dog has the least flaws in the ring. Right? Now, if they're so flawed, should ribbons be held? Should ribbons be held on dogs? Absolutely. I'm not saying dogs that have flaws should win, or have the least flaws should win, but at the same time, it's like, dude, if these dogs are, have one high rear and the rest of the, and they still look like a bully, they still move great, and they still are, nice looking dogs, right? Should they not win? No, I think they should. Now, high rear, depending on the problem, depends on most, and typically it's, from a lack of rear angulation, right? From the research I've done, it's not the short upper arm. From the research I've done, it's not typical of the dog having a short upper arm. It might be more of a over angulated front, looking, that makes it look short, that gives the appearance of a high rear, right? And Can the angulation of the front shoulder be fixed? Yeah, but I really put in the ballpark of how hard that is to fix a rear end as well. You know what I mean? What is my opinion on kink tails? I really don't. If the only flaw a dog has is a kink tail, it is what it is, right? Now, I may have not done enough research on this to realize or to read that a kink tail means that they're gonna have back problems, or I don't know, you know what I mean? Some crazy shit like that. But I really don't hold kink tails in that in like the highest of fucking the highest of faults, right? Uh, I think the higher faults would be like, I don't know, one testicle, wiry bites. I hate those. That's a lot of bulldog there. Yeah, bully bureau. I don't know. Yeah, well, Mr. Popper Pit, man, I'm telling you can say what you want, man, but from everything I've read and the research that I've done, it's not typically a high or a short upper arm. It's an overangulated shoulder, But now we're talking semantics, right? I think we have to talk case by case basis of what that dog's ailment is, and not as a whole, right? So I can sit here and you can sit here and talk all day long how it is this thing or whatever it may be, but as a whole, we all know that the American Bully is a very diverse breed and a diverse look. A lot of dogs look different, right? It's so young where it doesn't look consistent. Well, where you have grand champions that look like Rocco, then you have grand champions that look like what the fuck is it? Bowser, right? You have grand champions that look like Bowser. You have grand champions that look like Bear. You know what I mean? Now, could you pick their elements out or what's wrong with them on an individual base? Absolutely. But I think that you can't really say it as a whole. From what I've seen though, I really don't think it's an upper from my point of view, it's not in the shoulder upper arm. Absolutely, an angle of a shoulder absolutely can change. You're exactly right. Papa Pit is far from cookie cutter breed. I mean, I'm not even well versed in what cookie cutter breed would be. Would that be like a Doberman, right? That they all really look exactly alike. Could it be Cocker Spaniels? You know what I mean? But yeah, so back to the kinks. I don't know, right? I don't know what causes the kink. I don't know if it's genetic. Well, I do know, how genetics have something to do with it, but I don't know if it's it can be triggered by nutritional or whatever it may be. I'm not a geneticist, right? I'm just a person who likes to breed dogs. I do my best to know, but I don't know what causes that shit. I don't know what gene it may be, what mutation it may be, and at all. You know what I mean? So, well, you know what I mean? Like, so kink tail dog. I think severity of kink should really matter. Um, oh shit! Hold on, my computer's dying. Give me a second, guys. Oh, I put my years of actual in-ring experience against me, as many dogs I've seen against anyone. Yeah, man, I mean, you have the experience, absolutely. But just because you have the experience does not mean I have to defer to your experience. What I do and why I am who I am is because I actually go looking and I actually try to find that answer, not just from one source, not just from breeders, right? I'm looking at people who've written blogs on other dog breeds, right? Blogs, research papers, fucking findings, right? Yeah, I've done a lot. And for me, I really don't think it's a short upper arm. I really think most dogs suffer from an overangulated upper arm. But at the same time, you can't really know, and nor can I really know until you dissect that dog after they're dead and measure with a fucking measuring stick or with a fucking tape measure, right? So yes, you have experience. But at the same time, man, I don't know how many dogs you've cut open after they died. And to say exactly it's a short upper arm. And I'm not saying you're wrong, Papa Pit. I'm just saying that I think differently. And am I telling people wrong advice? Fuck no. Absolutely not. And the reason I feel as if I'm able to is because I have put in the hours. Exactly. I just said I haven't cut any open. I haven't. I think it's just my opinion, as it's just like your opinion, right? And no one is saying that you don't have, 25, 30 years in dogs. What I'm saying is I just have done my own research on it. And I've seen with my own eyes. I haven't seen as many dogs. I probably haven't seen half as many dogs as you. But we still haven't cut open any dogs. We still haven't done any fucking, measurements of bones when the dog's dead, right? That's the only way you can absolutely be sure that the dog suffers from a short upper arm and not an overangulated shoulder. But yeah, Mike said I saw a 21-inch dog with a low rear and a kink tail. Definitely did not have a short upper arm. I think, like I said, brother, you have to go by case basis, man. You can't say it's as a whole. Like you guys do understand that shoulder set can change the height of a dog, right? They're too far forward, too far back. And I'm glad you are on here, Ron. I really am. Like, you definitely know a lot, man. Do you know more than me? Absolutely. I defer to that. I think you absolutely know a lot more than me. But there are things that I have fucking picked up on my ways. I'm not an idiot. I don't do this. I don't do this for play, right? But you absolutely know more. So just on this matter, we can agree to disagree. Sorry. Okay, give me a second, guys. I gotta catch up on this YouTube thing. Ray Vega be hating hard. Nah, man, it's all good. Hey, Ray, you have your opinions, my man. I'm only basing it on experts that have done the studies, and I know you're the expert. I don't know, man. You seem kind of. You seem kind of. What is the word that I'm looking for here? How you seem like right now? Probably not. You're probably not used to people disagreeing with you. And actually, I don't even think I disagreed with you. I think I thought it was something else other than what you were saying it is. And no way am I calling it, in no way am I saying I'm the expert. That passive aggressive shit you do. I'm not, man. You know what I mean? He does. He does want a pissing contest because he is Ron Ramos. And he has been alive than everybody on my live. And you think you know more. And you probably do. You probably experiences more, right? But it doesn't give you the reason to think that you're almighty powerful and you know everything. You know more than everybody else. Yeah, but it's good, man. You can act the way you want to act. I still have respect for you. You'll never hear me saying disrespect about anybody. No, so my other live is Instagram. Well, Papa Pitt, your previous comment is looked upon as you're being childish and you want a pissing contest, as my friend Matthew Martin would say. And I'm not going to get into it with you, my man. I think you absolutely know a lot, but like I said, at the end of the day, how many dogs have you dissected and said they actually have a short upper arm? Because that's the only way you actually know. No, my opinion. I think it's everybody's opinion on here, my friend. Anyways, let me see. Give me a second. My thoughts on Mr. Bean. That's a trash dog. It's a trash dog, dude. You know it's a trash dog. I think it's a trash dog. That sounded funny. No, you're not missing a good chat. So I've been doing this live thing for like 2 years now. Consistently, I have missed some Friday nights, right? But I've been doing it for a long time. I don't think you could ever read what that dog structurally is wrong with him out of him. Now he might suffer from a short upper arm, but I would never use him. I don't believe he's a tool. I don't think anybody's ever produced anything I've ever liked off that dog. Ron, we're past that, my friend. Like I said, brother, we have to agree to disagree on this. If you give a dog good food, you don't need vitamins. Well, here's the thing, right? I agree and I disagree with you as well. Because I absolutely gravy train, you're an idiot. I absolutely believe that vitamins, you do need some. Especially with the American Bully. Like I said, I believe that the American Bully, a lot of dogs becoming Easty Westy are more nutritional than they're more nutritional than being bred that way or genetic, right? And because you see a lot of them, and you can have an Easty Westy dog every once in a while, I guess, from two straight front dogs that it could be in the genetics. But at the same time, if you can have Easty Westy feet from being wrong with the nutrition, I believe that most bully breeders go wrong with nutrition because everybody who buys bullies wants the dog to be bullied right now. Everybody on here right now cannot tell me cannot tell me that they didn't want their dog to look bully at 2 months old, 3 months old, 5 months old, right? You want your dog to look like a bully. And so thus, the one question I get all the time and I don't answer is, what do you feed your dog? I have a 5-month-old male or female. I want my dog to look like your dog's. How do I do that, right? Right? And I tell them, nothing special, man. You feed them a good diet, feed them what they're supposed to have, exactly what they're supposed to have, nothing more, and you'll have a good dog. If you got the dog with the right genetics. Most people still don't believe that. Is it okay to give water to your dog even though he is super tired? Well, RJ Green, I don't know what that essentially means. Like tired, lethargic, like sick, lethargic, tired, or like tired as in like middle of the night. I think if a dog will drink water whenever he wants to drink water, you let him drink water because that dog's thirsty. Like, you ever heard that saying? You can bring a horse to water, but you can't make him drink. You can't make a dog drink water, right? So, if your dog could drink water, that must mean that the dog's thirsty. Oh, tired and exercise. Yeah, dude, you're good. So if your dog's tired, just give him water, man. You'll be all right. Ray Vega, I didn't know that Victor made a grain free. Fuck, you learn something new every day. I didn't know that. Cold water. So the only time cold water will matter, RJ, is if your dog is overheating or having like signs of heat stroke. You don't want to give a dog that is showing signs of heat stroke or overheating or cold water to that dog because it could send them into shock. You want to give them not even water, period. You want to just put water on them until you can get an IV in them, really. But I don't think the temperature of water matters after. Actually, you want cold water after exercise for sure. But as long as they're not like overheating, you're fine to give them cold water because it's not going to send their body into shock. If they're having a reaction, overheating, stuff like that, you don't give them cold water. All right. Yeah, Gatorade's fine. Okay, that's the only reason I asked about Bully Max. Is the only one thought for the prize gets 5 stars. Not for enough plus X. He's there for. Well, if you think Bully Max is fine, I mean, it could be fine if they're thinking right. So if I were to feed Bully Max, I would not go with the stated proper nutrition guide because it's obvious that Bully Max, they want you to get the results of big muscles. I would feed underneath it. Underneath Bully Max feeding guide because I don't want my dog to have that many calories and that. I'm pretty sure it's like 550 calories per cup or something like that. So I would feed my dog underneath it if you wanted to feed it. So I mean, I just don't think that when they developed the food, their mind was in the right place as of nutrition and health of the dog, rather than getting your dog to the max, max peak performance or peak muscle, stuff like that. Where's my free stack video? I called you out. Bro, I've been too busy, dude. I got shit to do. I don't got a lot of time. Like, I have a lot of time to work on my content, what I'm doing, the videos I'm doing. I just haven't had a chance to do a freestyle video, bro. I haven't. I just been super busy. Sorry, man. Like, I guess I lost the challenge. Don't tell Papa Pitt though. He'll hold that against me that I lost something. Do I like Belgian Malinois? I think that any dog can be a good dog if they're with the right owner. I do know of a really good friend of mine that was into rescuing dogs. That rescued a Belgian Malinois, and it damn near killed her. And this is a dog trainer, a true, to honest to God, dog trainer, and her Belgian Malinois almost killed her. Like ripped her face off, ripped her lips off, ripped her eyelid off, stuff like that. And when I heard and I talked to her about it, it had just happened a couple weeks earlier, and it kind of hit home. Like a certain dog breed isn't for everybody, right? Could it have been that dog was just off? Absolutely. You know what I mean? But yeah, the dog did a number on her, man. So no, I don't like Belgian Malinois. I don't like German Shepherds. I don't like I don't like a lot of those high drive, high working dogs. Because I couldn't give them a job, right? Like if I had a German Shepherd, I don't have a job for them. I don't even know what they do as a job. Like guard my house. I don't need nobody to guard my house. I got guns. I got cameras, and I got alarm system. I don't need anything to guard me. So I appreciate that, Martin. Yeah, he's a cop dog, right? He wants to fucking bite people. I don't know, man. You know what I mean? I work with American Pit Bull Terriers. I work with pit bulls. I work with rescues, pit bulls, and bullies, stuff like that. Right? I have people bring me rescues, but I know essentially that dog, how they act, what their mannerisms are, if they act a certain way, how I need to treat them, how I need to be more cautious of a certain kind of dog who goes in the red zone, how to treat red zone cases, stuff like that. But you put a fucking German Shepherd in front of me, I don't know what the fuck to do. And it might be that they're almost the same thing, but I don't think they are, right? I think a working dog, like a working German Shepherd, their attitude and the way they can be handled is totally different from like an American bully. You know what I mean? And I don't want to make the mistake of treating them the same. Oh, you're good, Ray. Hey, I appreciate you, dude. I really do. I don't believe anybody should think exactly the same as me, because if you thought that, there would be no reason for me to be talking to you guys. I think that people should have different opinions. That's the only way the world starts to be complete. You know what I mean? So I appreciate you. I really do, man. Thanks for coming on, Ray. Who had systems for parvovirus? Hold on, sorry. Malwalls, yeah. Alligators. From what I've heard, there is a strain of parvovirus out there that can't be picked up by the parvovirus. Maybe like Parvo 2, something like. Honestly, like I heard this from vets, and I heard this from people who worked at the vet. There are dogs that are showing signs of Parvo in every single symptom, but they will not show on the test. So they're like, they call it like Parvo 2, whatever. And I'm not making that shit up. This was actually told to me by a couple sources. Oh, where's my drink? My drink is right here, but I'm finished with it. Let me make me another. Give me a second. And we're gonna get off this in a little bit. Give me 2 seconds here. 2 seconds. Sorry. Okay, so since Parvo, yeah, I don't know, bro. I don't know. If you know, I don't know. Since we're on YouTube, and YouTube has really strict fucking things that I can show you guys on my live, or else they would like limit people that can see it. I'm not going to show what I'm pouring. Did you see that? All right. Yeah, I don't know, man. That's crazy. Like, yeah, I don't know. That's what I've heard. I mean, I heard you can't even vaccine against it. From what I've heard, like I said, man, my experience sitting here having withdrawals from having altercation with Papa Pitt or disagreement, whatever. Slow training is hard work. Toro does look great. You see, God, he's such a big dog, isn't he? Gosh, Sasso's a big dog. And Toro, fuck, he's a big dog. He's bigger than Sasso. That's hard to believe. And these dogs are only like 9 months old, too. They're like 25, 26 inch heads on these dogs. Absolutely right. You're absolutely right, Steph. High drive won't be trained out. Absolutely right. You got to simulate her mentality as much as physically to get her to settle. So what he means is high drive cannot be trained out of a dog, but it can be redirected to other things to where not you get them tired or you get them satisfaction. You get them to a point where they feel satisfied and their drive isn't spewing out of their ears. I think that's what he meant for sure. I'm not an alcoholic. I might be. Yeah, you told me about that. How many dogs do I have? I have 6 dogs. See you, Red. Me and my friend are trying to start a club to help educate people on the difference between American bullies and American pit bull terriers. It's crazy how many people just throw them together. So Matthew, I think the reason why they throw them together is because it's just the general thing people do. Media plays a huge part in that, right? You see in the media that whenever a dog fucking resembles an American Pit Bull Terrier, they call it a pit bull every fucking time. No matter if it's mixed with Mastiff or mixed with Cane Corso, fucking Retriever, right? They call it a fucking pit bull every time, and that's the media's fault. But here's the thing. It's free press. You can say what you want to say at any time you want to say it. It's up to us, you and I, to believe that. So if you and I know better, you and I won't believe that shit. But will the general population believe it? Absolutely. Because the general population are simply sheep. And I'm not like a conspiracy theorist here. It's the truth. Right? And you could be saying the same thing about me of, I'm just saying propaganda, right? But I know what I know and I do what I do, right? So will a dog with high drive and wound up being a code red or, red zone, I think, right? A red zone case, or will she be okay in the long run? So Cadillac, like I said, it depends on how you revert her mind to be around you guys. What job is she doing? Is she exercising regularly? Is she getting out regularly? Are you taking the proper transition? So I've developed this theory of mine is that energy. Well, it's not. This isn't the energy theory is not mine. Energy does not leave; it simply transfers, right? So, with that in mind, the theory is that if a dog is excited once they go into a situation, that dog is going to be excited in that situation. So, whether that situation is from them being in the crate to outside, then being inside the house, to outside the front door, or them being calm, and then you grabbing a leash and then being excited, the energy is going to translate to the next thing. So I think where people make the mistake with this any dog is not allowing that dog, or not demanding that dog relax before transitioning to the next phase of what you're trying to do with them. So a lot of times when I'm training a dog, yes, you're absolutely, dude, the iconic bully studio, you're absolutely right. It is not physical stimulation. It's the mentality. Can you get your dog to feel relaxed, like they've done something? So anyway, like I was saying, so I feel energy doesn't dissipate, it transfers. It merely transfers, right? So if a lot of people, like I said, a lot of people make the mistake of letting a dog out of the kennel. They get excited because they're going out the kennel. Then you let them outside, and you wonder why they're running back and forth from the fucking outside, right? Or you go to open the front door, and your dog knows to go on a walk, so your dog is jumping and putting their paws on you, right? You're supposed to wait in that situation. You're supposed to wait until they relax. You're supposed to wait until they're calm, to not allow that energy to translate outdoors, or the hyperactive energy to translate to outdoors. So what I do when I'm training a dog, and I've been training dogs for a while, is I don't allow that energy to translate if it's high energy. If it's medium calm and relaxed energy, we can do what we're doing. We can continue on. But if it's crazy, I gotta wait, right? Why do I like bullies? I like bullies because of the way they look. They look good, right? They are beautiful dogs, majestic dogs. They kind of remind me of bullies. Remind me of Mr. Universe. Like, who can pack on the most muscle but still look complete, still look put together. Big broad shoulders, nice tight waist, great lines, great conditioning, right? So how you judge like a Mr. Universe, I think that American bullies are, or should be at least. And that's what draws me to them. I like the way they look. I like the way they look. Big neck, big shoulders, big rear. They don't have to lift weights for that. It's genetic, right? So that's why I like them, man. Although you could, improve the genetics slightly by exercising and working the dog out, and so show certain angles of that dog. I think that genetics as a whole plays a different role. It plays that role, right? Let's see. Oh, for sure, my man. I think sounds like you know what you're talking about, for sure. So, Cadillac, you got to understand that just because a dog is outside or is walking does not mean they're enjoying or getting the benefit of that walk. If your dog is outside and they're constantly looking back and forth, or constantly dragging, or constantly tracking, their mind is still racing. So essentially what you're doing is you're just getting you're getting their muscles tired, and not their mind, right? So I have an exotic bully coming next month that this guy wants training for. And the reason for that is that every time this guy brings out his dog almost dies, because how overstimulated this dog is. It overheats very fast. He's gotten the palate removed, not the palate removed, but the long palate removed, and it still overheats. And it's simply because the dog is very overstimulated. So what is our plan with this dog? Our plan is to show the dog how to work or how to be stimulated, but to not be overstimulated, is, I guess you could say. Now, is it the nervous system that this dog doesn't have? Possibly. I told the owner that, hey man, like, you know, I could get this dog. I could do my thing, and if it doesn't work, it's because the nervous system, it just won't work for him, right? Also, another theory of mine is that although that these dogs were bred for different reasons, okay, Chihuahuas, poodles, schnauzers, bullies, American Pit Bull Terriers, right? Genetically, they are 99.8% compatible with their ancestor, the wolf. That's why you can breed a dog to a wolf and still get puppies, right? So although that they're bred for different reasons, it does not mean that their state or their state of mind is going to change. I believe that just because a teacup fucking, I don't even know if this is right, but teacup Chihuahua state of mind is, oh, I'm small, I'm just going to relax, because that's the directly opposite. Because you don't work out a Chihuahua, right? You don't correct a Chihuahua. You don't teach Chihuahua how to sit and stuff like that, right? So, I mean, I've been alive for 29 years. I've never seen a Chihuahua that acted correctly ever in my life. And I'm sure there's those of you out there, right? But I never have. So for me, it's just like the exotic. For the reason of being bred as companionship, not even fucking companionship. We're talking about designer at the moment, right? Guys, I got 2 minutes on here. Let me start it over. Hold those questions. Let me start it over. What's up? What's up? What's up, G Lee? See, this is why I like to do my lives on YouTube, because we can just record it. Sorry, man. Sorry, guys. Would you say that a working dog would speed up the wake up process? Zeus, what do you mean? What do you mean the wake up process? What is the wake up process? Okay, so back to my theory. My theory of just because a dog was bred for a certain reason phenotypically does not mean that their state of mind is changed. For me, the dog still needs stimulation in a calm state of mind so they can benefit from that stimulation and feel tired and feel relaxed, right? If a dog doesn't understand or doesn't absorb that they're actually doing work and have to utilize their brain cells to do something, then that dog is not going to be a good dog for you. It's going to be actually a very overactive dog, because they don't have that that thing where it's like, I have a job, I have a thing to do, I have a place to work at, right? They don't have satisfaction. To think that these mammals don't need satisfaction because of the way that they're bred is totally wrong. Working dogs need satisfaction for them to act correctly. I believe that even companion breeds still need satisfaction. They still need work. They still need a job to do. What that job is and what you show them what it is to do that they need to do to make them feel better, that's on you. but you still need to do it. I don't think I've ever met anybody who ever taught a Chihuahua how to walk on a treadmill or walk good, period. Honestly, I've never seen a Chihuahua walk next to their owner. Because they're so small, but at the same time, it's a perfect example to illustrate to you guys that just because a dog is bred for a different reason does not mean that their state of mind doesn't have to be worked. Well, Lorena said that's so true. My Chihuahua was a little shit. On the other hand, my pit was well behaved. So the argument there, not really the argument, but the statement there is not that little dogs act like shitheads and bigger dogs act better. Statement is that typically when you're a bigger dog, you do more things. You go running, you play fetch, you get taught how to walk on a leash. Typically you should, right? Get taught how to, they get taught how to behave, right? You typically, if somebody with a bigger dog doesn't pick their dog up, right? Doesn't have to pick their dog up if a bigger dog's coming. Because I know anybody who's owned a Chihuahua, or almost anybody, if you've seen a bigger dog coming, typically the average owner picks their little ass dog up, and that little dog goes crazy. What they don't know is you are caressing, you are fucking saying that so that little dog is okay for you to feel insecure, rather than fucking manning up, walking straight past that dog. You feel insecure, but guess what? We're gonna do it again and again and again until you say, okay, I'm good. We'll walk right past this dog. And guess what? You're gonna have a dog that stops barking at fucking other dogs, right? But that's psychology shit for another time, I guess. Sorry. Should have explained that better. So I was told that the average bully really starts to wake up around 8 to 9 months stage, waking up as it's starting to degrowth muscle. Oh, okay, wake up, see maturity. Gotcha. Okay, so the life of Zeus was asking about waking up, and what he means by is maturity. I think if you really know your dogs, not your dogs, but your dogs as in bullies, bloodline, stuff like that, you can count on or know when that dog actually matures. So you'll say like the bully market dogs typically mature in about a year and a half, right? Bistro stuff, the homie blood stuff, they really matures really fast. Razor's Edge dogs typically mature faster too. I would say that Dax line stuff typically always looks bullier, but doesn't mature, really mature till 2 years old. I think my stuff doesn't really mature till 3 years old. So 8, 9 months, I think you have to know your dog. So we get into this argument again, as in putting one stigmatism onto all American bullies, whereas you have to go by case basis, or in this case, a blood by blood basis. You know what I mean? So waking up, or as in maturing, I think you have to know your dog. You have to know the rapid growth periods where the dog will most likely change the most, right? What is that, like from birth to 12 weeks old, from 6 months to 9 months old, and then 1 to 2, 2 to 3 are typically like slower maturing things, tighter muscles, bigger, more cuts in their muscles, more mature muscles, stuff like that. But at the same time, it's like you gotta know your dogs. For sure, man. Anyways, guys, when you're back in town, we'll talk. Are you talking to me? Who are you talking to? I don't think you're talking to me. Steph. Who's Steph? Who is Steph? Who are you talking to? Who's Steph? Oh, Cadillac is Steph. Sorry. Okay, Marcus, quiz question. Did you know that it's better to wait until a year or older to spay or neuter? Yes, I did. I didn't know that. You want to, for a male, you want to wait till I think it's like 9 months old or 8 months old when they first start to develop those fillings. I don't know why though. I don't know why, but I heard of that. But maybe I knew that, but I don't know. I don't like to know why, but I knew that. Cheers. Wait, what? uh, okay, so Vita was bred on the 25th. For my calculations, she'll be due late November if she takes. Right now, we're not thinking about when she's due. We're not thinking about confirming how many puppies. We just want to know. We just want to see if we confirm. That's all. So it's always a waiting game. It's right now it's 50-50, right? You either are or you don't. You either do have puppies or a puppy or you don't. So right now it's up in the air. I hope we do, and it very well could end up me being that I don't have puppies in there, which would suck, but life goes on. We do another breeding, we gotta get it done, right? It would suck, but I don't want to go through that. I want to have some puppies on the ground. Well, yeah, fingers crossed for sure. Marcus, quick question, bro. Opinion on the Lewis B line in general. Lewis B line in general are very poorly structured dogs, very good phenotypes, very tight dogs, very, very nice head shapes, very nice shoulders and necks on Louis V line dogs, which is, Dax line. Unions are typically weak. Shoulders are typically short or bad angulation set, which we discovered can either be both or one or the other. High rears, that's the Dax line stuff. Dax line typically carries high rears. Weak unions, but overall, I believe that Lewis V line stuff can be used as a tool. I think Jamie talked about, being a tool. I don't think that dog's a tool. I believe that dog will throw his bad rear end. He might suffer from a short upper arm and a bad angulated upper arm because his top line is the worst I've ever seen on an American bully. Like that's considered an American bully, right? Not an exotic. I don't think he can be. I think it's. So I heard this interview one time by Dave Wilson. He said that this breed was based on breeding to the edge, seeing how close you can get to the edge, but not going overboard, right? But Mr. Bean is so far overboard, he's on the bottom of the other side already. You know what I mean? So I don't think he could be used as a tool. But yes, Tommy is a Louis V sired dog, and like I said, he's a tool. He absolutely is a tool. You can see his sons. His sons all have type when they're bred to a nice bitch. You get pretty fucking nice dogs. I honestly do believe that. Like I really do. Can you talk about XL dogs? No, I can't talk about fucking XL dogs. Can you talk about XL dogs? Your opinion and the type, and you like, and things you watch in for that type. Okay, well, I think the reason why I don't dabble in XL dogs like Bully Bureau knows is because I haven't found many XL dogs that have type. There might be one that I believed had a lot of type, and I can't remember what that dog's name was. Surgical insemination, Lovecraft bullies. I just did one. they're good for sure. But yeah, I think that a lot of XL bullies lack type. I don't think that any program in the American bully community can throw type, even inconsistently. Right? I haven't seen an XL program throw type inconsistently, like inconsistent as in one type dog out of every litter. I haven't seen that, right? Yeah, very tight, big boy for sure. Well, I think Build I think high rears and hip dysplasia and whatever else you just said. I think that really, uh, it really is a general thing, right? But I think with the reason why XLs lack type is to get, so you see these dogs that are fucking 17 inches tall, that are 100 pounds, right? Huge muscles. I mean, it doesn't have to be exactly that, but I'm talking about type. Having a good size rear that matches a good size set of shoulders, that matches a good fucking deep chest, that matches the bone, right? In order for an XL dog to get that same typey look, it has to be 125, 30-pound dog. Because we're talking about in inches, right? At 17 inches per pound of body weight, you're looking like 10 pounds, right? It's like, no, not per pound. It's like it's like 6.5 pounds per inch their height, right? Yeah, I don't know exact. I'm gonna do like 6.5 times 17. Yeah, should be. It's around there, right? 35. Yeah, it's about 100 pounds. It's around there. I don't know exact, right? So for every inch of their height, they have about 6.5 pounds of weight on them. In order for that to translate, the XL would have to be, 21 inches tall, 130, 35 pounds of bone, muscle, of that nature. A lot of these XLs are like 105 pounds, 100 pounds. They're big dogs because they're tall dogs. They're not big dogs because they're type dogs. You know what I mean? That makes sense? What was your opinion on the stud I locked in looking at the pics I sent you? What the fuck is his name? What is his name? One shot or two shots? No shot? It was, what's the name's brother, right? No problem. Blue. Okay, yeah. It's like the brother out of that group, right? Yeah, there you go. That's why I think he's a nice dog. I think he has a lot of girth. I mean, obviously they're pictures, right? So I can't judge too much, but I thought he was a nice dog. I really did. Blue though, for me, I hate blue, but at the same time, it's just, structure first, then color. So yeah, he's a nice dog. I liked him. You're right. So that's why it's super hard to breed. It's super hard to breed an XL American Bully because fuck, man, you gotta put the size and the girth on a tall dog. It's fucking probably harder to breed a type XL than it is to breed a type, obviously a type standard or a type pocket, right? I don't want to say it's easier, okay? It's because there's a lot of type pockets, there's a lot of type standards that don't have that. Let me rephrase that. There's a lot of pockets and standards that don't have type. But there's more pockets and standards that have type than XLs. So it is definitely hard to breed an XL dog that has type, and I haven't seen anybody who can do it consistently and be good about it. You're right. So I should write a book. I am going to do a book. I don't know about like now. When I do a book, my nickname is going to have to be like Marcus Bully. Or daddy bullies, or granddad bullies, or some shit like that, you know. What's the nickname for bullies? Daddy AB, right? Daddy American Bully. I don't know. But in order for me to do a book, I'm gonna have to be in this for a lot longer than I am now. So I won't even try. Tips on dogs being jealous. My dogs always go in front of me when petting my other dog, bites her, etc. Well, my friend, that's because every time that your dog who gets jealous goes up to you, you pet her. You give her the attention she wants. Thus, meaning whenever she wants the attention, she can act the way she wants to act and get it. My dogs don't get that because the reason what I do is I completely ignore my dogs till I want to give them attention. I don't allow my dogs to dictate when they get attention. That's easy. When will you get a new logo for Bullco? I don't trust a lot of people with my logo. I like Tommy. It was a part of my old logo with my old logo with Smoking Barrel Bullies, California. Damn, I haven't even said that fucking name in a long time. It was part of my old logo. Tommy was the only thing original out of that. The horseshoe was not mine. It was taken from, Smoking Barrel Bullies. The guns were not mine. I'm not a gun guy. I own one gun, and that's for protection, right? But the only thing original was the design of Tommy, right? The Tommy on there is Poppy Bullco, yeah. The Tommy on there was the only original thing, and the reason why we ran with that is because he's, it's pretty unique. I would honestly, I had my logo before a lot of these breeders had their logos with, like the like one of the really popular things right now is they have a logo with just the bully head, just the bully head. I had my logo way before those, right? And then within the last like year, there's been like 1, 2, 3, 4 or 5 kennels, not major kennels, but bigger, more popular people who had, logos with the just bully head. You know what I mean? And I feel like Tommy's head was the main centerpiece to our logo, so we ran with that. We'll see. We'll see. We'll see when we do it. The Bully Bureau. What do I think about your logo? I think it's original. I absolutely do. Him being in a suit behind a desk is absolutely playing on the bureau part. If it were me, I probably would have been a little bit simpler, as in less things to put on a shirt, logo, stuff like that. Because you want that to, like I said before, I told you before, you want things to translate you to other mediums. You want the logo to translate well to your profile picture, to the the homepage translate well to pictures and shirts, right? So the logo on a shirt would look okay, kind of cartoonish, but the logo on a hat would just be too much. You know what I mean? So I believe that I probably would have went a little bit simpler. Bully Bureau for me probably would have been if I would have done a logo with a Bully Bureau as my name, I probably would have went with like a 50s style G-Man to where they have like the fedora on a bully head, right? Like back in the 50s where the G-men always wore like fedoras and they like real slick. I probably would have went more that route than the bully behind the desk. I think it's a cool logo, absolutely, but I think that uh, I would have been a little bit simpler. But I like it though. What is your opinion about breeding banners? Do you think they are necessary? Absolutely fucking not. Have you guys ever seen a breeding banner from me? Like the most I do with my breeding banners is like a picture, split picture, and one next to the other. Right? Right? Like really, like breeding banner. There is a guy who yeah, you could throw sunglasses in there with the fedora on a bully for sure. You do it correctly, I think it would look super dope. But for me, as a brand, it has to translate to other mediums, or else it's not a brand. You know what I mean? Like it's super hard to fucking illustrate that, but that's the best that I can put it. If it doesn't, if what people see is your logo and they don't think automatically it's your logo and it doesn't translate to other things with simplicity, it's not really a logo, right? It's more of a JPEG. Fuck, I don't know. I don't have the word for it. You know what I mean? The only thing I love more than bullies is guns. The only thing I love more than bullies are my wife and my kids. That's the only thing. Anything else? Oof. You guys shout out luck. I'll be picking my dogs over you. Well, I think people change their logos too often. People can't remember it. Yeah, absolutely. So the reason I think people change it all the time is because they don't believe it's a brand, right? They don't believe it's a brand. So, but it is a brand, absolutely. If you want to sell dogs, I seen Papa Pitt just pop back on here. So Papa Pitt isn't going to be changing his name to Ron Pitt Papa. You know what I mean? Like he's a brand. It's a brand already. He can just run with that. So people need to understand that if it comes with the territory. I'm not picking on you, Papa Pitt. You know what I mean? It was just an example. Yeah, Duval bullies, very very known, right? You make me a breeding banner. It's never gonna get posted. Like I don't believe in them. I don't like. Have you ever seen the breeding banners that two dogs? Check this out. So the breeding banners that two dogs that get bred. They have like Dax here and like Magoo on this side, right? And then you think, okay, let me see the pedigree. Look at the pedigree. Dax and Magoo are like 3 generations back. So we're talking at this moment 24 dogs back, yet you choose to put Dax and Magoo just because it's a selling point, right? And Magoo is Dax, you assholes. You know what I mean? It's like, what the fuck are you guys thinking? And the people who be like, oh, it's fire, it's fire. I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about, man? It's the same breeding I've seen before. I've seen this breeding before. I see what it throws. And trust me, I ain't buying a dog. You know what I mean? It's the truth, man. People, the best advice I can give to you guys, right, on here is to not try to fake it till you make it. There are too many people out there giving information like myself that will teach people how to see through that bullshit. Like I'm teaching you guys how I'm paying that shit forward. I'm helping the next guy in line, right? I'm not saying I made it, but I'm saying I'm helping the next person behind me to realize that that is bullshit. And I'm teaching you how to look past that bullshit, right? So when I look at a breeding banner and I see Dax and blah blah blah, and I go to the fucking pedigree, and Dax and blah 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 are 2 generations back or 3 generations back, I'm thinking 12 dogs or 24 dogs behind there. You're taking one dog that wasn't even line bred, and you're saying that dog is this line? Get the fuck out of here. You know what I mean? Don't I talk dog stuff all the time? Do I think the puppy can get genetics of the great grandfather or the granddad? Absolutely. Absolutely. So I think I broke this down last time, okay? Um, every dog is made up of okay, this is gonna get super crazy, okay? Uh just follow me. Every dog is made up of 50% their mom and 50% their dad. Every mom and dad are made up of 50% their mom and their dad, right? So a puppy is technically made up of 25% of their mom and dad's mom and dad. So every generation, you're looking at 50, or the one generation back, 50-50, 25, 12 and a half, 12 point, or 6.25, 3.125, 1.185, right? Or whatever, 1.175, something like that, right? So every generation back, the I guess portion of genetics that came from that dog is in the generation before it, or in a generation that was in your dog. So the way I look at it as is, if my dog is 50-50 in their mom and dad, the mom and dad are 50-50 their parents. So my dog is 25% mom, grandpa, right? And it's not like super actually what it's supposed to be, but it's a good starting point. You know what I mean? And it's I mean, it's true, right? Yeah, it's the skill tree, exactly. Uh, it's just hard to realize with it. Now, traits, right? I think that when you think about traits, you have to realize what we perceive as traits, right? So, as human beings, what we perceive as traits are in the face, nothing else. Nothing else. If you look at your mom and dad, or somebody looks at you and your mom and dad, they go, "Oh, you look like your mom." And typically they're looking at your fucking eyes, right? Like this part right here. This is what y'all looking at. This is like the recognition, okay? So if you say that a dog looks like their grandparents, what typically people are referring to are, well, for dogs, are the coat pattern or the eye separation or angulation, or whatever it may be. It's somewhere here, okay, on a dog, because it's the same thing that we pick up in humans, right? So yeah, man, it's definitely possible. if you say a dog looks like their great grandparents, like Ghost said, look at their eyes. I'm pretty sure that the reason that they look like their great grandparents is because of their eyes. And yeah, there are other things as well, but as human beings, we're like predetermined to pick up on this right here, right? So like if you guys were to think someone's attractive, really what you're looking at is the symmetry in their face, right? This like if you ever use like if you ever used like a facial app that fucking turned your face into crazy shit, it measured this right here because this is what changes. Everything else will stay the same. If they change this, as a matter of fact, if you put a mirror on the middle of your face and took a picture from each side would look like a different person, or from a slightly or different. Period, because everything that you have two of are not exactly the same. They're just kind of the same, but are unique to you. I don't know where I learned that shit from, but I just picked that up a while ago. Yeah, not you, but people overall just always focus on symmetry. Okay, so Life of Zeus just asked, what is your honest opinion on Dax? I have to ask. I love Dax. I think that Dax has shaped and reshaped the landscape of the American bully world. Fuck, man. Almost every dog that you see is top dog, or like one of the top dogs, has Dax in their pedigree. Or is even seen as a good dog or bad dog. Or not bad dog is a bad dog is a badass dog. Has Dax in their pedigree, right? I think Dax reshaped the landscape. And I think that anybody who argues that, it's Magoo's bloodline or Louis V bloodlines or Luciano's bloodline, Uso's bloodline, motherfucker, they all throw Dax. They all throw Dax's fucking neck and shoulders and head. That's Dax's shit, right? That's why I don't even consider Louis V a Louis V line dog. He was inbred one time and got called Louis V line. It's a Dax line dog. He fucking was doubled up on Dax up front. You know what I mean? No, yeah, you're right. Grand Champion Dax, Grand Waffle House or Vita do not have Dax. You're right. Absolutely. I didn't say the whole of the landscape, but I would say that a lot of top dogs do. Exactly. Just like Remy with Razor's Edge, man. Same old shit, right? Remy was a Razor's Edge dog, is a Razor's Edge dog. Anybody who says that they have Remy line has a Razor's Edge dog. Sorry. But it's the truth. I think that Dax, like I said, for some reason, that the traits of Dax and the traits of what he was throwing and producing have passed on generation through generation through generation. I recently tried to get an interview with Ed Shepherd for you guys, but I don't even know if he uses Facebook or Instagram because I can't get a hold of the dude. Typically, anybody I need to talk to gets back to me. So, I haven't got a hold of him yet. Yeah, but I was trying to interview because Ed Shepherd came up with Gotti line, Gotti, and Dax line. So I wanted to I wanted to talk to the guy about it because I'm going to do a video on bloodlines, but that's on hold until I can get the proper interviews. Because one thing I don't want to fuck up on is doing a video on American Bully Bloodlines and get it wrong because I'll get fucking blasted for it. So I want to do it right. So we'll see if I can get a hold of those guys. You guys don't know the difference between GOTTI and GOTTY? Ghost, I believe Barbie was the mom. I don't believe Romeo was not the dad. I can tell you right now. He's not. Okay, yeah, I'll do. Okay, for sure. If you a blue coat bully, is it true that are more prone to having skin issues than a bully color? Or I don't know. I don't know. I guess that comes with experience as of not going through it, but rather what you've been through. Because I've had blue dogs before, and I don't have any skin, problems with them. I have had old school breeders talk about heart problems or immune problems with blue dogs, but I don't know. You know what I mean? Like, so I'm not gonna sit here and tell you guys I know everything. I don't fucking know everything. I just know what I know. I know something, I'm gonna tell you. If I don't know something, I'll tell you. I don't fucking know. I haven't had an experience though, so I don't know. I have heard of the blue dogs having heart problems, like heart murmurs, but I don't know, man. That's that old school like talk. Miyagi or Dax? Dax. Guys, I hope you know Miyagi looks nothing like any picture you've ever seen of him. Any picture. Now, does that matter with the offspring 3-4 generations down that's killing it in the ring? Or ABKC wise? No, no. But Miyagi is never that dog that you guys thought he was. Ever. I don't know not one Miyagi son that's looked even close to what his pictures look like. Can you switch a dog's coat on her paperwork? Let's say she looks blue as a pup, but it looks black with a blue shade. Oh, I don't know. I know you can switch their name. I don't know because so the breeder orders the color. The I don't think you can because I think the breeder orders the color. So I don't think you can. Yeah, I don't think you can. But I never tried, so I don't know. Anyways, guys, I think that's it for tonight. I'm pretty worn on. I think we've had a good fucking live. My YouTube people have been on for 2 hours and 38 minutes. It might be a record. Huh? All right, guys, I'm taking off. YouTube, thanks so much for being on. I know that we just started and that we will be continuing eventually. It will be all on YouTube, but by that, hopefully we'll make that transition soon. But in the meantime, we'll continue to do it on Instagram. For sure, man. I appreciate all you guys. Take it easy, YouTube.